college gym bits fan, going live on YouTube, streaming live on YouTube. Now I'm going to show you Fubo TV. Now I got the package of Fubo TV and I pay $76 a month. Now, it's not a deal breaker for me that I don't get ABC as a local, because I get WAFB, which is CBS in the Baton Rouge area, Fox 44, which is Fox in the Baton Rouge area, NBC 33, which is NBC in the Baton Rouge area. So that's like 3 locals, and that's better than Sling. They have a lot of 4K on demand, nature and outdoors on demand, live sports. Now I didn't choose to get the see, I have a lot of recordings on my DVR set. Sports, gymnastics, swimming. See, I got like 64.9 out of 500. Now, I got the family share plan for $59, and then I added $10.99 for the sports package, and then I also added like $4.99 or $5.99 for the extra package, so that I could get the cooking channel and a lot of others that I wouldn't get, And actually, I'm just gonna, because the IPTV services that I get, even if they do have like Big Ten Network, then they don't have Big Ten Network in the catch-up. So if I'm gonna put gymnastics on YouTube from Big Ten Network, then I need it. But see, I can go to search. And I'm going to do a search. I forgot what I was going to search for. Oh, wait, not... Okay, the batch. See, they don't have the Bachelor show on here, because it's like on ABC. What was I going to search for? Oh! I was going to search for Reba, yeah. Okay, I'll record series, new episodes, and reruns. See, I don't think I get up network with this. See, I'll go to networks. See, you do get TNT, TBS, AT&T Sportsnet. That might not be available in all areas. Maybe that's my regional sport. FS1, FS2, NBC, SN, CBS, BTN, Pac-12 networks. So like right now, Stanford, California, but that's just baseball. I don't even like to watch baseball. MSNBC, CBS. Okay, now I'm gonna search for sis, sis, ter, sis, ter. I guess they took the TV series Sister Sister off Fuse and they don't have it on demand, which is sad. Like Sister Sister, Luigi and Mallory. But see, they have popular shows on here. They have popular movies. Ooh, Titanic and Identity Thief. I like those. I mean, I'm not going to get Fubo TV year round, and I can cancel it and restart it again because there's like no contract. But I mean, I didn't want to just get the 33-hour DVR, which is a lower. I wanted to get the 500 because it would fill up fast with me. See, I've already used 12% of it today. I think I'm going to put the Big Ten Women's Championship on here. I'll play it from start. This is swimming and diving.
we can lose all of these games. Those role guys are going to have to play well. And I think you know what you're getting from Wieskamp and Garza. We'll see what those role guys get.
Iowa can score in the basketball. For Robbie, I'm Rick Pizzo. As always, thanks for hanging with us here on The Big Show.
The best of the Big Ten have arrived in Iowa City with their sights set on being crowned Big Ten champions a year ago in Bloomington. It was Indiana and Ray Lewis winning their 7th title. While the previous 3 Big Ten championships went to Mike Bottom and the Michigan Wolverines. But the favorites going into the final day of competition is Bill Jordan and Ohio State trying to win their first title in 30 years.
I like the Michigan Wolverines and Ohio State. Women's Swimming and Diving Championship.
BTN welcomes you to Iowa City, Iowa for the Big Ten Women's Swimming and Diving Championships. The best are here, and it will not disappoint. They've arrived at the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center, and we are so glad you are here with us as well. With our championship crew, alongside Margot Farrell and Laura Ryan, I'm Bernie Gunther. Well, Margot, the swimmers, one eye right now on Tokyo, one eye on trying to become Big Ten champions. We got 2 swimmers, Vita Nelson and Maggie McNeil, that very well could be big participants this summer in the Tokyo Olympic Games.
Absolutely, a lot of stars here in the Big Ten Conference, but you mentioned 2 of the biggest women to watch this week. We've got Maggie McNeil, the sophomore from Michigan, who started things off with quite a bang. She had the fastest split in the 50 backstroke and the 200 medley relay, the fastest ever in history. She went on to wow the crowd with her 100 fly, which was a Big Ten meet record. But you mentioned another name, Vita Nelson, the senior from Wisconsin, who's also had a pretty explosive meet. The 100 backstroke just shy of her Big Ten meet record, and the 200 IM just 2 nights ago, where she also got the Big Ten meet record. So those 2 ladies, certainly watch out for them as they try to close out the last side of the championships.
It's going to be so much fun to watch them tonight, as well as the platform competition tonight, Laura. It's pretty much wide open.
Absolutely. If the preliminaries this morning were any indication of how finals are going to go tonight, it's going to come down to the last round and who can put up big points under pressure. Most notably, Emily Meany. She's a senior from Purdue. She was a silver medalist at the 2019 NCAA Championships and a bronze medalist here last year. But she hasn't got a Big Ten title yet, so look for her to be fighting for that tonight. But she's going to have people like freshman Marky Hopkins from Northwestern coming in, looking to make a name for herself in the Big Ten Conference. She's had success at the USA Diving Nationals and looking to do it on the collegiate level as well.
There's going to be a lot of stars to watch in the pool, including Vita Nelson and Maggie McNeil. For more on that, the 4th member of our team, Elise Maneker.
Bernie, Big Tens is one of several key events coming up for top swimmers Vita Nelson and Maggie McNeil. For the Wisconsin senior, of course, this is an emotional weekend for her. She told me for the first time in her career, she's saying for Wisconsin off of every wall, because she told me earlier today it's not about the individual times, it's about her team. She said this event is the most special event she will ever compete in. Maggie McNeil, the sophomore out of Michigan, she learned that last year. This year, she told me she's better prepared this time around. But her team not in the position they thought they would be in on this final day. But Maggie told me the reason she's competing in the 100 free is because she said, I have the best chance to win that race. And if I win it, that means more points for my team.
And after the first 3 days of competition, what a start it has been for Ohio State, trying to win their first title since 1986, leading the way with 1,016 points ahead of the Michigan Wolverines. And it all started on Wednesday night. 2 relays. Margaret, so important because relays, they're worth double points. This has been an event that Indiana, they've dominated. They've won this race 3 out of the last 4 years, and they returned only 1 swimmer from this relay team a year ago, including losing Olympic champion Lily King.
I was going to say they've got a big gap to fill there, losing Lily King. Indiana having a meet record here with a 134.16. But keep your eye on the Michigan Wolverines, in particular Maggie McNeil there in the center of the pool. Take a look already at the lead that she's got. She's going to go on to complete this 50 backstroke, 23.05, the fastest ever that has been completed in the 200 medley relay.
And the Wolverines, they built an insurmountable lead in the first 100. It made it really easy for them to seal the deal. They won the relay 134.21. But the key is, look at Ohio State. They finished second. That's going to be the story that we've seen so far the first 3 days. The Buckeyes earning big points. Northwestern, they moved into third after Indiana was disqualified. But the Wolverines earning 64 points for their win in the 200 medley relay. 800 free relay. This has been a relay that's been dominated by Michigan. They came into Iowa winners of this relay the last 4 years.
And you'll notice in that 200 medley relay, we didn't see someone who usually
across the board. So when he flipped to the end of this 800 freestyle relay, Peter Nelson really took it over for this Wisconsin team. And how big was this for Wisconsin to get a win in the 800 freestyle relay?
And this is a relay to always keep your eye on, because really the trajectory of the race can change so much over the course of it. You've got 8 laps for each swimmer. One swimmer goes out just a little bit too fast or not fast enough, and that can really just skew the entire race as a whole. But as you said there, Vita Nelson really capping things off for Wisconsin and ending, of course, with a gold.
And how about this, though? Ohio State, they finished second time on day number 1, as we are just getting started. An opportunity to see Vita Nelson, the 2-time Big Ten swimmer of the championship.
New puppy? Aw, let's find him something to love.
Oh, the puppy pink.
And by Meyer, the official home gating headquarters.
See, I just fast forwarded through the commercial.
Back here in Iowa City for the Big Ten Women's Swimming and Diving Championships. Check out the top 10 in the country as far as the coaches are concerned. I think that they forgot about Ohio State. They certainly look like a top 10 team this weekend.
They certainly do here with their strong lead here, 1,122 points right now through event number 16. I'm sure they're going to be a contender going into NCAA's here in the next 3 weeks.
Well, how is this meet scored your wonder? You get 32 points for first place. We talk about relays, and we'll do so throughout the course of the broadcast today. And relays, double points, 64 points if you can get a relay win in our first individual event on the pool deck tonight. Is one that we've waited for a long time. The 200 backstroke. You see Vita Nelson, not only the Big Ten record holder, but also the NCAA record holder, trying to win this event for the 3rd time in her career. Our State Farm state of success. She won 3 national championships last season, the 100 back, the 200 back, and the 200 iron. Just the 2nd swimmer in Wisconsin history to win an individual title. And you think about the story of what brought her to Madison, Wisconsin. Her mother, as a senior in high school, was battling breast cancer, Lorraine, and she decided to stay at home to be with her mom. Great news, her mom is in remission, and she has a chance tonight to watch her daughter win her 3rd straight Big Ten title at the 200 backstroke.
And she's had such an impressive week already to start. She was just shy of her Big Ten record in the 100 backstroke. She beat the Big Ten record in the 200 IM. So certainly this is a race to watch here as she goes for perhaps another meet record and win.
2-time swimmer of the championship, Vita Nelson in the middle in lane number 4. She'll be one to watch. Think about that, 100 backstroke. She won that race by 2.5 seconds. One might expect this 200 backstroke to be even more decisive.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the seed already, and she is seated 3 seconds ahead of both 2nd and 3rd place behind her. And as she gets off the wall, excellent start there. And notice her underwater. So, of course, keeping in mind the white buoy there that you see. The second one, when she comes off the wall, that is the one that backstrokers have to keep in mind, especially in those underwater turns. Going by those, of course, would earn you a disqualification. But look at her strength here under the water as you stay there and really gain that momentum.
This weekend, like Vita Nelson, they've got focus on obviously Olympic trials this summer, on the national championships, but of course she's trying to enjoy this moment because there's nothing like competing for your team for a Big Ten title.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any swimmer that would disagree with that if they've swam at the collegiate level. Swimming for your conference just carries a different weight. Obviously, the Olympics, the NCAAs, those are just as monumentous of occasions, but something about your conference championships is just unlike any other competition out there. You've got the teams in the stands, the families, the friends who travel from near and far, the alumni out in full force here, and you can watch as just the team on the sideline really just eager to see her get the hand on the wall first, as she's now more than 2 body lengths ahead of the rest of the crowd.
Elise Becker told us every turn she sings on in Wisconsin, she'll do it for the final time as an individual in her Big Ten career. How fast will Vita Nelson go? She's going to win her 3rd straight 200 backstroke title, and she does it 1:48.73.
A new pool record just shy of her Big Ten meet record, 1:48.46.
this weekend.
And take a look here. Right off the start, she gains that solid momentum with the excellent underwater that she's got. You can notice right away she's already about half a body length in front of the rest of the crowd. And look, here again, a closer look at that underwater. She really keeps it tight in that streamline, pushing her just that much more ahead of the rest of the field.
56.9, her last 100, as she brings home her third straight Big Ten championship in the 200-yard backstroke. What a career for Beta Nelson. The two-time swimmer of the championship, another spectacular performance she's found with Elise.
Beta, you told me earlier today that this was going to be an emotional race for you. Now that you have another gold, what does this win mean to you?
That means a lot. The last day is always the hardest. And who's going to fight hardest for it? It's going to be him first. So I'm really happy I can get the points for my team and just dig deep and fight.
Let's see. There's like an hour and 31 minutes left. I've watched 13 minutes, 18 seconds.
Yeah.
Beta, thank you.
Of course.
What a moment for Beta Nelson. Well, on day number 2, she won the 200 IM. As we take a look back at what happened on Thursday night in Iowa City, it began with a 500 freestyle. It was a 20-lap race decided by 3/100ths of a second. You got to see how close it was. 4 swimmers had a chance to win this one, Margo.
Absolutely, and Ohio State ended up claiming their first individual event of the championships here, but it was tight all the way until the end. I mean, we see the 1650 and how that race and the dynamics can change over the course of it. The 500, really the next step down there, where over the course of the 20 laps, you really can notice the difference of who can hang in there for the course of this distance event.
Well, Ohio State's Catherine Demler, top of the screen, lane number 6, Big Ten champion a year ago in the 200 fly. She was actually a second behind the field at the 400-yard mark, but she had the fastest final 50 as she brought home the Big Ten championship. 4:37.04 to win the title. Look at how tight that finish was. 4:37.04 for Demler. Cassie Trevor from Indiana, 4:37.07, and Sarah Schmidt will find herself in third. And 200 IM, we just saw Beta Nelson win 200 backstroke, and she is equally dominant in the 200 IM.
Absolutely. Beta Nelson, she really dominated this race as well. She has a tendency to just own the races that she's in. This was also another race that she was able to clip her Big Ten meet record going into this event, already holding that Big Ten meet record, and then just dropping it down even further. I mean, take a look. She utilizes those underwaters just as powerful here in the butterfly as she is in the backstroke to give her that great first start.
Beta Nelson winning her third straight Big Ten title in the 200 IM. And you also want to look at Calypso Sheridan. You know who's also had a great week, along with Ohio State is Northwestern. Calypso Sheridan, she sets a new Northwestern school record as she finishes second. But Beta Nelson, Big Ten champion, third straight year in the 200 IM. Yard freestyle, our first look at Maggie McNeil. Not just Big Ten or national champion in the 100 fly. Over the summer, she was world champion in the 100 butterfly representing Canada. And you can see why here in the 50 free. She's just so much better than everybody else. Look at how powerful she is underwater.
And something that's very impressive about Maggie McNeil is her underwater, specifically in the shorter distance races. It's not something that's always, and that's a necessity here when you have these quick sprints, explosive races, but something she utilizes to her advantage. And we saw that certainly in the relay, the way she kicked things off on Wednesday with the fastest 50 backstroke split in the history of that event.
Second straight win for McNeil in the 50 freestyle as the Wolverines go 1-2 and then 160 big points for Michigan, and then it finished off with a 400 medley relay. We talk about the importance during this week of these medley relays where there are double points on the line, and this is a really great race at the very beginning. Think Michigan, Wisconsin, Beta Nelson, Maggie McNeil battling it out in the 100 backstroke, and it was great because Beta Nelson lowered her Big Ten championship record by 8/100ths of a second, getting out 49.7 to start the tone.
Absolutely. Maggie McNeil McNeil, though, close behind with a 50.04. She helped the Wolverines really stay right on top of Wisconsin there, who hold the NCAA, the American, and the U.S. Open record.
But the Wolverines took control. Miranda Tucker in the breaststroke, splitting 58-64. Olivia Carter, who was SEC Freshman of the Year a season ago at Georgia, took command in the butterfly as the Wolverines went on to win this relay over Wisconsin, 327-68. And this was big for Michigan, just trying to keep pace with Ohio State.
Absolutely, those relays are especially where you get those big points. We saw on night one where Indiana disqualified a relay. That costing them huge points here. So whenever you can get your hand on the wall first, or certainly near the top, especially in a relay, that's really going to help when it comes down to it.
And how about Northwestern finishing third overall in the 400 medley relay? Well, we just saw Maggie McNeil win the 50 freestyle. She'll hit the pool for the 100 free when we come back to Iowa City.
Plastic. It's our most dangerous addiction.
Coming up, a great slate of Big Ten hoops tips off with the Nittany Lions and Hoosiers on
Ooh,
FS1.
Rutgers,
Big Ten brings a
Wisconsin.
doubleheader featuring Rutgers, Wisconsin,
Big Ten.
and Minnesota Northwestern.
Saturday.
Big Ten basketball today on FS1, BTN, and the Fox Sports app. After 16 events, it's Ohio State by 201.5 points. Indiana currently third. How about Northwestern? They're currently fourth overall after 16 events have been completed. And our next event on the pool deck here in Iowa City, it's the 100-yard freestyle, and all eyes are going to be on Maggie McNeil. As a freshman, she won the 50 free and the 100 fly. She swam the 100 backstroke, but we heard earlier from Elise why she's elected to swim this 100-yard freestyle, because she feels like this is a winnable event.
And certainly, she's shown this week that she has the speed, the explosiveness for these events. Watch her, especially on those underwaters. We talk a lot about backstrokers and butterflyers really having those powerful underwaters. But here, Maggie McNeil shows you that is one of her strong suits and really helps her to captivate on top of the field.
Maggie McNeil, she set the NCAA record earlier in the fall in the 100 butterfly, going 49-26. World champion, representing Team Canada over the summer in the 100-meter butterfly. And she's just along that line of Lily King, Siobhan Hahi, swimmers that we've seen do big things on the world stage from the Big Ten. Maggie McNeil is right there. Expected to be doing big things this summer for Team Canada in Tokyo.
Well, especially coming from Michigan. I mean, if we take a look at last year, Michigan went 1-2-3 in this event. So they have a history of being able to perform and put up swimmers who are able to do well in this event. And take a look already. You can see her slightly edging out the crowd there as she's turning into her second to last turn here. Watch her underwater as she stays there. She keeps control of that streamline and comes out just a slight touch ahead.
22-7, the first 50 for McNeil. Daria Vishnenko right below her in lane number 3, the daughter of 2 Russian Olympic medalists. Right above her, Freya Rayner. But it's going to be McNeil. She's going to be the Big Ten champion. A clean sweep for McNeil as she wins it 46-57. That's a new meet record. The first in history in a Big Ten championship under 47 seconds.
Take a look at her start right here. You can already tell that she's positioned herself to be in a great spot here with a slight edge on her. She's about half body length ahead, and then as she just cruises into the wall, full body length ahead again. As Bernie just mentioned, the first woman to go under 47 seconds in the Big Ten Conference. Huge win for the Wolverines.
Elise is down on the pool deck with a winner for the Wolverines.
Maggie, when we talked earlier, you said this is your least favorite short course event, that it's hard, but a record-breaking performance. What does it mean to get the gold for your team?
It really is a lot, especially this last day. I really just wanted to get my hand on the wall for the team.
Thanks, Maggie.
Ooh, Michigan
A
finished
1-3
top 2 out of 3. They finished in first and third. And then
on pace again. You take a look at she's the current co-NCAA record holder here in this 100 butterfly. She's gone 46-26, and the question is, what would she do here in Iowa City?
Take a look. Those underwaters coming into play here, especially in butterfly, as she's running there on the first 25, hands on the wall, largely first, pulling into that second lap here of the 50, and just notice again how long she stays underwater compared to the rest of the field.
McNeil first, Olivia Carter second, and it was a 1-2 finish here in this 100 butterfly for the Michigan Wolverines, and she does so at a new Big Ten meet record, 49-42. It has been indeed a record-breaking weekend for Maggie McNeil. Big win there for the sophomore in the 100 butterfly. We told you what a weekend has been for Northwestern, and this event certainly tells the story. Calypso Sheridan, she becomes the first swimmer in Northwestern history to win the 400 IM. We saw Rosendahl win an individual diving championship in 2018, but you have to go back all the way to 2008 and Andrea Huffman, who won the 100 and 200 free. That's the last time a Wildcat won an individual event. How big is this for the Wildcat program?
That's right. And just in the last couple of years, they've seen some coaching changes, and it's really played in Northwestern's favor here. As you can see, the strong start that Calypso has over the rest of the field here, really dominating. And her ultimate time, 4:03.18, but she comes in just a couple seconds shy of the Big Ten meet record.
Sheridan gets the win, but look out for Ohio State because they finished second and third with Demler and Romano. It was a 52-point swing here in the 400 IM that moved Ohio State in front of the Wolverines there in the 400 IM. 200-yard freestyle. This was an event dominated by Michigan's Siobhan Haughey, who won this event 4 straight years. In comes Indiana freshman Cora Dupre.
Speaking with Ray Luz earlier this week, head coach for Indiana, he said, don't count her out. This is a freshman who you want to look out for. He said, a lot of times with freshmen, you don't know how they're going to finish out the season, specifically at their first conference meet, their first NCAAs, but she showcased that she can perform here on the big stage.
Dupre won 5 state titles in high school back in Cincinnati, Ohio, and she walks away with her first ever Big Ten championship. Could we see another 4 straight years just like Haughey?
It could be. It could be at this point. That also becoming a new Indiana record for them as well.
Dupre the winner. Georgia White second for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Same story in the 100 breaststroke. Just like Siobhan Haughey out of the 200 free. 100 breaststroke without Lily King certainly opened things up.
Yeah, I think that was a big loss for the Big Ten Conference as a whole. To lose somebody like Lily King, who is such a powerhouse on an international stage, now leaving the breaststroke events really open for the taking. Who is going to step up to that place, try and fill that hole? Miranda Tucker from Michigan, really trying to seal the deal there for the Wolverines. 58-15 will take the win for them.
After finishing in the top 3 for 3 straight years, Tucker on top.
I've watched 27 minutes. There's an hour and 17 minutes left.
And this was an end to a huge night for Ohio State here in this relay. Obviously, they had the speed up front, but what was really the story is how they came from behind to win that relay. And before we get to that, the 100 backstroke, Beta Nelson, the 2-time Big Ten swimmer of the championship, a premier event, showcasing her skills.
Absolutely. I'm taking a look at that lead. It speaks for itself. And this one just shy of her Big Ten meet record. You can't get a record every time you swim, but she's got pretty darn close here in this meet. Just shy of her record. You can tell slight disappointment there on her face as she looks up.
And now that big finish for Ohio State. Relays worth double points, 64 points to the winner. This is where you knew with the performance they had in the relay that Ohio State entered that final day of competition a really good spot to try to be crowned Big Ten champions.
Absolutely. They were just on fire and wanted to finish on that high note. They left nothing to be desired here in the 200 freestyle relay. You can just see how they already have ownership here as they dive in with their next leg, really maximizing over
of Michigan. Another win for Ohio State. They win at 127-57, and the Buckeyes continue trying to climb the rock and try to move their way to the top, just like they're doing here in the Campus and Recreational Wellness Center. Coming up next from Iowa City, it's the 200 breaststroke.
Selling on Poshmark is crazy simple. All you have to do is post a picture, add a description, add a price, and you're pretty much good to go. Right now,
Iowa squares off against Oklahoma State. Big Ten Wrestling presented by...
I do not want to watch Big Ten wrestling.
In the Fox Sports app. And after 17 events, it's Ohio State ahead by 263 points.
Ooh, Michigan's catching up. They've crossed the over 1,000 mark.
As we turn our attention to the 200 breaststroke, this is another event that has been dominated by Lily King. She is no longer in, but right there in the middle of the pool, Indiana trying to continue that great legacy of Hoosiers winning this event.
Absolutely. Indiana and breaststroke just go hand in hand. It is something that program has really been able to produce both on the men's and the women's side for the last several years here. But as you said, Lily King no longer being in the conference now leaves a big open gap, wondering who can fill those shoes. Will it remain in Hoosier territory, or will somebody else be able to step up to the plate?
My son, Nicole Pawlowski, she's in lane number 4. Right next to her, lane number 5 is Emily Weiss. She dominated in high school, won 4 state titles in the 100 breaststroke, and set the national high school record, the female swimmer of the year. But she was second to Miranda Tucker in the 100 breaststroke. But Lily King talked about her. She said she scares me because she reminds me of myself and the work ethic that I have. She said that King said that she's going to be a real star in the future. So we'll see if she can jump out on the Big Ten scene and get her first Big Ten title here in the 200 breaststroke after that second place finish to Tucker in the 100 breaststroke. It's a pretty wide open field because Tucker, who won the 100 breaststroke, she is in lane number 8. That's at the top of the screen. You can't count her out for an outside smoke.
Never can count out an outside smoke. And here when you look at it, really just 2 seconds separating both those middle lanes and the outside lanes. And in the finals, we know anything and everything can change.
And early on, it is Weiss winning and leading after the first 50, 28-57. One thing that Ray Lou said that he really liked about Weiss is the fact that she was willing to take chances, and sometimes that means putting yourself around and really jumping out of the race.
Absolutely. One of Ray Lou's biggest things is that you don't have to feel good to swim fast. He used to always say feeling is overrated. So this here, especially the 200 breast, one of the more painful events, especially on the last day of the meet here where the event load has been so heavy. These girls are feeling it in their legs, they are feeling it in their arms, but it is all about pushing through, especially to try to get your hands up on the wall first, not only for yourself, but for your team, when Indiana here trying to hold on desperately to 3rd place.
What a battle we have across the board here, folks. Miranda Tucker trying to move up now in lane number 8. Pawlowski in 4, Weiss in 5, Tucker in 8. Battling with 50 yards of breaststroke to go.
Really centered on those 3 lanes in the middle there. They seem to have about half a body length ahead of the rest of the crowd. Could it be that the Hoosiers might go 1-2 in this race? Certainly would help them edge out over the other competitors here as they're trying to get the most amount of points possible. But you can see here, look at the ending here. Those last 15 yards is where we're noticing that difference. It's going to come down to the finish.
And it's going to be close for Sheridan. She was the first ever Big Ten champion for Northwestern in the 400 IM. And she's got her second Big Ten title here this weekend in Iowa City for the Wildcats.
Take a look at the start here where we really thought Indiana here, these 2 gals sticking together throughout the course of the race. But as we mentioned early on, anything could change over the trajectory of a 200. As you see here, she's starting to pull away. We notice coming right down into the finish, who would get their hands on the wall first? I mean, notice how neck and neck just slick she is. She ultimately looks out getting on the wall first.
race is down with a winner.
Calypso, you're just telling me this is painful. It's the last day. You get the gold in the 400 IM. We have seen the same person win this event the last 4 years. So what is the feeling now to capture the golden breaststroke?
It's pretty incredible. I kind of wish Lily King was here because I think having someone that fast to race next to is just inspiring. But the field this year was also really fast, especially in the 100 breaststrokes. I was really inspired watching that and then coming into tonight, especially having two other teammates in the same heat with me. Yeah.
Calypso, congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
Calypso Sheridan getting the win for Northwestern. Earlier today, we had a new winner as well in the 1650. And Molly Kowal, second a year ago, waited her entire career for this moment. And man, did she put across a spectacular effort in the 1650. Early on in the race, you see how close it was between Sheridan and Sia Schmidt. Halfway through, pretty tight, and then Cole kicked into a completely different gear.
Absolutely. You notice that this is where she's really starting to stretch the lead. It went from a body length to almost 2 body lengths, sticking true to her pace, even lowering down her split there. She was holding on to about 28 minutes. And you see really on the last lap where she takes off, realizing she's going to be the winner there. And of course, an emotional moment as Bernie, you and I were sitting just feet away from her mom and her uncle. Look at the look on her mother's face as she realized her daughter, who's just as emotional there, is a Big Ten champion.
Dolly Kowal celebrating Big Ten record for Kowal as she wins it for Ohio State. Coming up next, 200 butterfly from Iowa City.
I have a plan for it.
Of the year a season ago at Georgia, but this is her premier event. Silver medal in the 200-meter butterfly over the summer at the World University Games. Carter the favorite in lane number 4. As we talked about, everything clicking the right way this week for Ohio State. And we talked about to his team, it's not always about who puts their hand on the wall first, but who can have the greatest amount of points scored by the swimmers top to bottom.
Absolutely. It makes a difference throughout all of the finals there, whether you're in Final A or Final B, those points all making a difference. Again, obviously a win is what you shoot for, but if you're able to get your hand on the wall in second, in third, in fourth, and just having the most amount of your teammates inside that heat with you, that's really what aims towards winning a championship.
Halfway home. It was Hunter Butterfly. What a battle right there in the middle of the pool between Carter and Miriam Guevara. She set the school record as a freshman in the 100 butterfly. We just saw Calypso Sheridan win the 200 breaststroke. This is a Northwestern team that's trying to inch closer to Indiana. They're currently 4th overall.
Northwestern last year not even in the final, so a huge up-and-coming year for them.
Carter taking a peek at Guevara just to her side. But she's in the lead with 50 yards of butterfly remaining. SEC champion in this event a year ago. Will she be the Big Ten champion here for Michigan?
And take a look, Miriam's underwater is really kind of helping her to close that gap just a little bit. She's staying underwater there, which is really helping her as she comes on out. You'll notice, and that's what kind of catches her up there. But again, Carter really seeming to solidify that lead now as she's approaching a body length ahead and obviously putting her hands on the wall first. 1:53.28. Michigan going 1, 2, 3. A big event here for the Wolverines.
And Olivia Carter with a new Big Ten record comes home in 58.95. Olivia Carter was a huge get for Mike Bottom, just with all that she brings to this Wolverine team.
Absolutely, and as you see her turning into the finish, this is where she really pulled away from the crowd. Started out as a much closer race, but as she turns to see her time here, a new Big Ten meet record, and of course a big win for the Wolverines.
Olivia Carter, just a sophomore, already making waves at the Big Ten Championships. Leading the way, a 1-2-3 finish for Carter and the Wolverines, and she's down with Elise.
Olivia, a year ago you were an SEC champion in this event, and now you are a Big Ten champ. Describe the feeling to get these points for your team.
It's great. I mean, I just came to this team about 7 weeks ago, and like they have been such a welcoming group of people, and I'm so happy in Michigan. And to repeat the title's great. I'm in a different conference, different people, but you guys are so loud, and it's awesome. It's a great energy.
Olivia, thank you.
Thank you very much. Go Blue!
Carter winning the Big Ten Championship. Speaking of national champions, Laura Ryan joins me now as we take a look back at the diving that took place over the first 3 days of competition. We begin with the 1-meter finals. And
first up here we have Taylor Shigas from the University of Illinois. She does a nice inner 1.5 pike somersaults there. This was her first Big Ten final, so a really big accomplishment for her to get in there and take the lead in the first round.
Emily Brecher.
She's from Purdue. She's doing a front 2.5 somersault pike here. She had a missed dive in the first round, so coming back nicely here, actually with the highest scoring dive of the event, nearly 60 points, which is huge in a 1-meter contest.
What a performance it was.
Ooh, they're on 1-meter diving.
Round 3 dive.
I love this. I love this better than platform diving.
Getting in nice and clean. Big points for her early on.
I love 1-meter diving and 3-meter diving.
Another inner 1.5 pike for her there. As you see as she goes through the water, there's virtually no splash. This is really what was setting her apart from everyone else in the competition, was the way she was going through the water.
The runner-up was from Minnesota, Joy Zhu.
Here she's doing a reverse 1.5 with 1.5 somersaults. You can see how high she's getting up off the board, and then entering the water with no splash, getting her those big points to get her even with Mackenzie going into the last round.
Yeah, she had an opportunity to win if she could nail this dive.
Yeah, exactly. She was neck and neck with Mackenzie, and then goes here and does about 1.5, 1.5. It was a nice dive, but she definitely left the door open for Mackenzie, who had a chance to score big on her last round and take the title. Here she goes doing a reverse 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. Nice high up off the board and a perfect entry. It was enough to seal her first Big Ten title for a freshman from the Ohio State University, which was huge in her team's title hunt. She does a nice back 2.5 somersaults pike here. This is a big dive with a 3.0 degree of difficulty, which gets her nearly 60 points and off to a good start. Doing a front 2.5 with 1 full twist. A big dive for her. You can see her having plenty of room to finish that dive. Big points going into that next round. Exactly, showing her consistency on the springboard with the 1-meter and the 3-meter levels. Always able to find her head no matter how she's taking off the board, which is why she kept being in the mix. The highest degree of difficulty dive of the contest, a front 3.5 somersaults in the pike position when the pressure was on. She came through and nailed it. Huge points for her to set her up going into the last couple rounds. She's doing the exact same dive that we just saw Emily do. The only difference was Emily had a little bit more height on it, which is why you see her with the bigger scores. But again, Zhu just keeping pace with that eventual title winner. Exactly. The toughest thing to do as a diver is to forget the dive before and move on to the next one. But she did an incredible job of bouncing back and coming to get in that third bronze medal position. She's doing a front 2.5 with a full twist. Again, showing her beauty in the air and clean entries on the bottom. Huge points for her. Keeps her right even with Brecher going to the last round. As you can see here, Zhu will end up with the silver, and this dive is going to seal the deal for Emily Brecher. Same exact dive we just saw. Perfect entry, exactly what you're looking for in a Big Ten final. Huge for Emily Crutcher to come and win her Big Ten title as a diver from Purdue.
Boiler up. Crutcher with a win. Platform diving is next from Iowa City.
Reconnect with nature.
NCAA title here with you. NCAA silver medalist and All-American on platform a year ago, third at the Big Tens.
Here she's doing a back 2.5 somersaults in the pike position. She was a little bit short on it this morning, so let's see if they made the correct adjustments between the events. It looks like they did much better than she did this morning. When I say that she's going short, what I mean is she's coming out a little bit early from her somersault and landing on her back. She made a nice adjustment here in the finals, held on and waited for it, came out at the right time. Actually a little bit over adjusted and went just by on that entry, but still a very solid dive for 6.5 sevens here for Emily in the final.
An award of 58 points moves her into second. Our third diver here in round number 3 is Christy Cutshaw. She's going to dive a back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 pike. 3.2 degree of difficulty on this dive.
This is a big dive. A lot of twisting, a lot of flipping going on off that platform. That's why you see that 3.2 degree of difficulty. Very nice dive for Christy. This morning she was a little bit twisted on that entry, and I'm seeing it again here, but it looks like she did a good job of trying to control it. So hopefully the judges will award her accordingly. And there we go, 64 points. That's a big score. What we're doing with these scores, you're seeing 7 scores flash across the screen, and we're taking the middle 3. So we're throwing out the top 2 and the bottom 2 and multiplying it by that degree of difficulty, which in her case was 3.2.
The junior from Ohio State, Genevieve Agarame, 12th on the platform a year ago. What does it mean just to make it into the finals on your 12th a season ago?
It's huge. You know, you work all season long, and the Big Ten Championships is that exciting meet at the end of the season everyone's looking forward to be in a final like this in front of all your teammates and families is just an exciting atmosphere. And here she does a very nice inward 2.5 somersaults pike. She actually hit the platform on that this morning. Luckily, it was just her toes and nothing serious at all, and she did a great job of coming back. But here, much, much better. 63 points. That's a huge dive for her. And you can see her coming around. She's looking over her toes, looking for the water on that entry and line it up well. Very nice job. Great adjustment from the preliminary round.
Now this is Maggie Merriman, third after the second round. Her dive, a back 2.5 somersault, 2.9 degree of difficulty.
This morning in the preliminary, she had a great start on it. Huge jump off the platform, got into her pike really well, and just held on a little bit too long and went over. Very nice dive for Maggie here in this round of diving. Much better than this morning. She did a good job of coming out at the right time, pressing her feet back towards the platform, looking back for the water, and then got a good swim on that entry and a nice knee save. A little bit over, but still, she got 52 points here in the final, 40 this morning, so that's a 12-point jump in just an afternoon.
And again, she came in to this round, a round to go third, so we'll see if that will be enough to help her move up. Emily Crutcher, Big Ten Distinguished Scholar, majoring in General Management and Marketing. She competed at the World University Games on 3-meter.
Here she's doing a back 2.5 somersaults pike. She's a very versatile diver, like he was saying. Generally known for her springboard diving. She was the Big Ten champion earlier in this meet on the 3-meter. Did that dive on 3-meter as well. Here, just a little bit too much juice on it. You see her sliding over there. She's she's smiling. She knows it. She knows she can do that dive for much higher scores, but still a very solid dive here in the finals.
Teresa Petrukas, the sophomore from Wisconsin, our current leader in work 2.5, 2.8, the degree of difficulty on this dive.
This is a dive that Coach Landon said she struggles with. Something they've really been working on, getting her to stay up and over the platform on the start to get the speed of the dive a little bit faster. And she did just that. She got the dive moving, had all the speed she needed. But I think just making those little adjustments they've been working on, she wasn't quite ready for the dive to be there, but it was. She just held on a little bit too long, ducked her head, and you saw that roll by on the bottom. 37.80 points on that dive for her. So there again, you see it from a different angle. That splash you see is flying back towards the gutter because of the way that her body is rolling past that vertical position.
That opens things up for the freshman Macy Vida in Ohio. As a high school, she was the Ohio State champion.
Here she does a front 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. This morning in the preliminaries, she had an incredible entry on it. She had the best rip of the contest. When I'm talking about a rip, it's the way your hands are hitting the water. You hear this clapping noise, and the water sort of just sucks down, and you don't see any of it flying on top of the surface of the water. Here, she comes out just a little bit early here, and her legs drop, and that's why you see that water throwing a little bit. But still a very solid dive for her.
2 rounds of diving remain. Purdue, the top 2 divers on the platform after round 3.
Each year, Americans waste $21 billion.
Then Purdue, they find themselves with the top 2 divers as we begin round number 4 more.
Exactly. Purdue has 4 divers in this final, but don't forget about Marky Hopkins here from Northwestern. They also have a great history in platform diving. She is some big shoes to fill after Olivia Rosenthal has now graduated and was the NCAA champion from Northwestern. So Marky here doing a very nice job of coming in her freshman year in this Big Ten final and really, really hanging in there. Here she does a very nice back 2.5 somersaults pike, almost 60 points on it. Going through the water, very minimal splash, great dive for her.
Hopkins 4th. Now this is Emily Meany, 6th place going in here to round number 4. She'll dive a 4 3.5, 3.0 degree of difficulty on this dive.
Nice dive for Emily here in the 4th round. She was a little bit hesitant on that start. Just cut it off instead of being confident and getting a nice pop off the end of the platform, which would have given her a little bit more height off of the platform and then had a little bit more time to finish the dive. She's kind of running out of room here on the bottom and just has to quick get her hands and duck in. If she had gotten that good start like we were explaining, she probably would have had a little bit more time, but still a very solid dive, and she's hanging right in there.
As the top 3 divers after 3 rounds, you talk about the pressure on these divers finishing off a really tough week of competition with the platform. How difficult is it for these divers?
It's exhausting, both mentally and physically. Being up on that 10-meter platform, it's a lot higher when you get up there than maybe on your TV screen at home. But you get on the end of that platform and your heart starts racing. So to be able to do this at the end of a big meet, a big season, it's really impressive for these girls to be up here doing the dives they're doing.
Christy Cutshaw trying to move up from 7th.
A beautiful dive here in this 4th round. A back 2.5 somersaults pike. She does a good job of getting into her somersault quickly, being patient, waiting for her spot on the water. She saw the water come around, pressed out, and was confident on the finish. 6.5, 7 is a great score in this platform event. Consistency is the name of the game, and that's exactly what she's doing. Good starts, good finishes, good scores.
Ohio State, they have done it in diving. They got a win in the 1 meter with Mackenzie Crawford. This is Genevieve Angarami, currently 5th.
She's actually on the Lithuanian national team. She competed at the European Championships this year, and her college coach went over there and helped coach her at it. So she's got a wealth of experience that she's bringing into this Big Ten final. It's It's really paying off for her here on this back 2.5 somersaults pike. She was very aggressive on the start. Nice jump on it. Again, very solid. 6.5, 7 on this. It's exactly what she was looking for. Here she does. She comes out, and the reason you're seeing that water throw is she was a little bit early on what we call a knee save, which is why you're seeing her go in the water vertically and then come up near the gutter. It's the way the divers are saving underwater to try and pull that dive to vertical.
Here's your leader, Maggie Merriman. Arm stand back. 2 somersaults, 1.5 twists, 3.2 degrees of difficulty. What's going through her mind here as she prepares for this arm stand?
No, she's really just trying to keep her nerves down. This morning on her arm stand, while it was a beautiful dive, you could tell the nerves were getting to her a little bit. She got up into her handstand and was wobbling back and forth. She did a nice job of holding her composure and getting back to that solid handstand position before going, but it's going to be really important for her to take a nice deep breath before she kicks up and gives herself the time to set herself mentally before she's ready to go. Absolutely no sign of nerves this evening. She held that handstand for way more than she needed to, which is awesome. It shows the judges she's not nervous, she's not worried, she knows what she's doing, and she does just that on the rest of the dive. Perfect handstand position, does a nice kick off the tower, gets it down on the bottom. Very solid scores for her.
And the 62.4 points, that's her highest score ever on that dive. What a moment to have it come at a Big Ten championship.
Exactly. She picked the right time to peak on that dive. Awesome job for Maggie.
Emily Brecher, 3-meter champion, trying to move up from 8th position.
Here she's doing a reverse 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position. She's going to face away from the platform and jump out and flip backwards. Great entry. She did a very, very good job of being aggressive on that start. The thought of standing forward on the platform and having to think about jumping off, flipping backwards, it's a huge mental game. And you have to, every single time you're on the end, you have to convince yourself that you know what you're doing. You're confident in your skills, and she does that just here. She kicks out, no hesitation whatsoever, looks back. Perfect form there from Emily.
Teresa was our early leader. After a miss in the last round, she's currently 3rd.
She's doing a front 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Great from her in the finals. This morning on it, she was a little bit underconfident. She came out loose and was just not sure of where she was. And I talked with Coach Land in between the prelims and the finals, and he said that one of the things he wanted to work on was just being aggressive. And that's exactly what she did here.
Well, she's a 2-time member of Team Canada, competed at the Canadian Olympic Trials. You think about the pressure on these athletes. Competing for a team is a whole lot different than even competing for your country.
Absolutely. Here, you know, you've got your whole team sitting around the pool deck, the swimmers, the divers, you know, the coaches and the families in the stands. It's a lot louder than any other diving meet. So this is a whole different environment, and you have a lot of people depending on you, and you want to do well for your team. So it's a fun environment to be a part of.
Mackenzie Vita needs 65 points to move into first place.
Inward 3.5 somersaults tuck here. That's a big dive. A lot of girls earlier in the contest we've been seeing do an inward 2.5 somersaults in the pike position. So here, she's stepping it up, adding an extra flip. The trade-off is the degree of difficulty is higher, which if you hit the dive, you're going to get a lot more points. But it is risky, which is what you see here. She gets after it well, has a nice tuck position, just holds on a little bit too long and goes over. But great job going after it with a big dive. She's really going for it here in the finals.
And that miss will move her down. Once second, now 6th for the freshman Mackenzie Vita. Now we begin round number 5 with Marky Hopkins, the freshman for Northwestern. Hopkins currently 3rd.
and she saves her best dive for last. Coach said this is the one she's most confident with. They put it at the end so they know if they need a big dive, they have something reliable they can count on. So back 1.5 somersaults with 2.5 twists.
And certainly she could be Big Ten champion if she can get a big dive here.
That was a big dive. Great start on it. Beautiful twist position. And she's showing off that ripped entry she has. We'll see what the scores show. 8 and 7.5. That's the dive you want to put last. Great job for this freshman here in her first Big Ten platform final. Really making a name for herself tonight. You see her and Coach, they're very happy with that result.
Hopkins with the mark to beat. Emily Meany now trying to move up from 8th.
She's doing a back 2.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. So a little bit higher degree of difficulty than we just saw from Markey. And a great finish for her here in this final. Big dive, a lot of flipping, a lot of twisting. She does a good job of being strong on that jump, holding onto her pike until it comes around to vertical. 6.5, 7, 7.5. Very, very solid. Great job, Emily.
And it's big because we talked about the 7 points between the top 3, but 8 points is the difference between 8th and 5th. So you could move up 4 points, or 4 positions just with a big dive, and she got one there.
Absolutely. We knew this was going to be a close event and come down to the last round, and we're in for a treat here. That's exactly what's happening. It's going to come down to who can put a big dive down under pressure.
Kutshaw currently 5th.
Reverse 2.5 somersaults, tuck position. Very solid dive for her to end with. She did go a little bit by on that entry, but overall, she had a very consistent day here, both in the preliminaries and in the finals. Ending with 5.5, 6. She should still walk away extremely happy with her performance here in Iowa City.
That's up to the junior from Ohio State, Genevieve Nagarami, currently 4th. Can she move up with her final dive, a reverse 2.5?
So we're going to have a nice comparison here. She's doing the exact same dive as we just saw. This morning in the preliminaries, she had an incredible kick out. There was no question. She knew exactly where she was in the air. That's what I'm looking for here in the finals, and the judges will reward her accordingly. So just as I was talking about, she had that great kick. She was ready, beautiful position on the come out. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit on the early side. You see her smiling there, she knows it. But again, being in this Big Ten final is a huge deal. The amount of work it takes to be able to do that dive off the 10-meter platform is incredible. You're starting on the 1 meter with a reverse flip. You go to the 5 meter, you do a reverse 1.5, and then a reverse double. And then you do it on the trampoline, and then you bring it up to the 10 meter. The amount of work these girls are putting in to be able to do these dives, very impressive all around.
Now here is Maggie Merriman, our leader after the 4th round. She needs 55.5 points or more to move into first.
Shooting a big dive to end with 3.5 somersaults. Lots of speed on that dive. She was confident, she was getting after it, she was really going for the big finish. Just a little bit too much juice on that, rolled by in the entry, but we'll see what the judges give her.
Oh, wow. Only 48 points, so
wow.
Hopkins is still the leader.
Very close contest we have going on here. Markey still holding on to the lead, but we have some good dives to come.
Emily Brecher, currently 7th.
Doing that back 2.5 somersaults with a 1.5 twist. Big dive here. A lot of point potential. Great dive for Emily. She has been steady all 3 events. absolutely huge points for Purdue. The judges give her nearly 60 points on her last dive to close out her Big Ten championship here. It's going to have her sitting in fourth at the moment.
And now it's Torres in the second place going into this final round.
And again, doing the exact same dive as we just saw, that back 2.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. We'll see if she can be aggressive on this start and give her enough time to get a good entry on the bottom.
She needs 60 points to move into first.
Very doable with this dive, very doable. It's going to be close. She didn't quite get the start she was hoping for. She sat back just a little bit, which slowed down her momentum. We'll see what the judges give it.
38 points.
And Markey still holding on to the lead with one diver to go. Just coming around, you can see there on the replay, just a little bit short of vertical. But a nice job in this Big Ten final. She really put down some good dives and shown some big improvements with their new coach.
And the final diver, Macy Vita, she needs 77 points to take down Markey Hopkins.
Gonna need something special here. And special she gave us. Incredible entry. Degree of difficulty is a little bit lower, 2.8 on that.
71 points.
71 points, an incredible dive for her to finish out this meet. But the real story here, the freshman from Northwestern coming away with the win, coming into this event, sitting in 8th place. What a finish. I'm very excited. Perfect entry, only a drop. Beautiful for her.
Freshman with a 1-2 finish. Hopkins from Northwestern getting the win with 285 points.
What an event. Just as we predicted would come down to the last dive.
I think what Hopkins was the last diver to get included into the finals, just barely made the platform finals.
Absolutely. In the preliminaries, she had to put down a great last dive just to...
I don't know why it froze up. I'll exit out of here. Go to Fubo again. Ooh, it's almost 11 o'clock.
Get included into the finals, just barely made the platform finals.
Absolutely. In the preliminaries, she had to put down a great last dive just to make it here.
Winner.
Markey, it's your first big...
latest.
Of two 400-yard freestyle relays. This is a time final event where you can be the Big Ten champion out of heat number one, Margot.
Absolutely. Don't discount anybody at this point, especially that last race, everybody trying to lay it all on the line. And as you mentioned, OSU going home with the title, but it doesn't mean that there isn't some pride in taking home a Big Ten medal, no less.
You think about for many of these swimmers, how many hours they placed in the pool just for this moment to get to a Big Ten championship team. We obviously celebrate all the Big Ten champions, but sometimes it's a huge deal just to see that he made it on the travel roster to get to the conference championship meet.
Absolutely, because there's a certain amount of spots that you get to take for each of those championships, and all of these women train hours upon hours, days after days, each and every year, putting in all that hard work. And to earn that spot is so big for so many of these women, not only on that team, but now you want to take it to the next level. They've earned a spot on this relay. It just means that much more. There's so much pride here, especially at the conference championships. You can see with all of the women who are on the sidelines cheering on their teammates, all the parents, the families, the friends who are up in the stands. I mean, the pride is just so high here at a conference championship meet.
1:13:61 for Nebraska in lane number 6. Jessica Penlarch, the junior, swimming the second leg after Anna Pavig, the junior, got Nebraska out to the early lead. Nebraska followed by Minnesota halfway home in the first of two heats of the 400-yard freestyle relay. And look at that, Minnesota takes the lead on the final leg of that second lap.
I wouldn't count Minnesota out. You know, they have had a history. In the last couple of years, we've seen them struggle a little bit more, but Minnesota usually a top contender in the Big Ten championship, so I wouldn't count them out here to be able to pull something off in this relay.
Yeah, those were the three teams that last decade, if you will. Indiana, Michigan, and of course you can't count out Minnesota winning Big Ten titles.
They were winning several year after year from 2012 on. It was really Minnesota who had a lock on the Big Ten Conference. Things have kind of shifted now. As you mentioned, Northwestern is in the mix. Ohio State taking things over. So we've really seen the Big Ten Conference evolve over really the last decade.
Minnesota, Purdue, Nebraska in contention to take heat number 1. It's Minnesota.
What is going on? I don't know why it's freezing up. Is it my internet or what? Or is it Fubo TV?
Really see the Big Ten Conference evolve over really the last decade.
Minnesota, Purdue, Nebraska in contention to take heat number 1. It's Minnesota in the lead. Catherine Sullivan, the sophomore, diving into the pool for the anchor leg. Purdue trying to get all boiled up here on the anchor leg as well, and they have taken the lead with 50 yards of freestyle remaining.
Minnesota not letting up, though, here. We're going to see who's going to make the difference there on the turn. I think Purdue's going to be able to hold her off there. Now advancing that lead to just about a body length. Pretty sure Purdue is going to solidify this one and get their hand on the wall first.
The Boilermakers winners of heat number 1, 3:18:69. Minnesota will finish second, and Nebraska third. As we're set now for the final event here in the Iowa Aquatic Center. Again, you talk about the history of the Big Ten and what a moment this is for Ohio State and all the years they have waited, 3 decades plus, for the trophy to return home. In the early 80s, they were the dominant team. From 1982 to 1986, it was Ohio State, winners of 5 straight Big Ten titles. And then they had to wait 3 more decades for a moment like this, one event away from being Big Ten champions once again.
It just goes to show you that over the course of the years, as the influx of swimmers coming into and out of programs, the changeover of coaches, how things really are never set in stone, and you can't count anybody out.
Maggie McNeil will swim the lead-off leg for Michigan. Ohio State in lane number 3, right below. And again, this is another spot with Maggie McNeil. You have to bring it up that she could set a Big Ten record right here. You could set a record as a lead-off leg.
Absolutely, that leadoff leg counts, flat start, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that she could go on to beat her time from earlier in the night.
Maggie McNeil, Big Ten record, 46:57. She certainly is a huge difference maker for this Michigan Wolverine team that, again, they still have a lot left to be done. They came into this meet as the number 5 team in the country. I'm sure they're going to have a lot to prove at the national championships a couple weeks from now.
Olivia with a nice underwater there too, really maintaining that lead, about a body length ahead.
Peter Nelson swimming for Wisconsin in lane number 2. The final time that we will see the Badger star compete in a Big Ten championship. What a career she has had.
Certainly a memorable way to end the 4 years as a Badger and to go out on the last note there. You can see there her backstroke underwater is really paying off as she's closing that gap with Michigan there as they're both approaching the wall.
And Wisconsin has moved into contention halfway through this 400-yard freestyle relay. For the Wolverines, it's now Miranda Tucker. She was the Big Ten champion in the 100 breaststroke. And look at Ohio State. Amy Fulmer moving up.
The race really getting tighter.
Go Amy from Ohio State.
I mean, those 3 ladies just neck and neck as they go into the turn. Coming down here to the anchor. Who is going to be able to take home the gold here?
Wisconsin, Ohio State, Michigan. Down to the final 100. Megan Doty swimming for Wisconsin in lane number 2. Rayner swimming for Ohio State in lane number 3. And Daria Pishnenko for the Wolverines in lane number 4.
Michigan slightly edging forward here as they approach the 50 going into the turn. Michigan with a slight lead here, but still don't count anybody out here, still with about a little bit less than a 50 to go.
Rayner trying to put the cherry on top for Ohio State and get one more win, but it's Michigan.
Good job, Wolverines.
They will go on to win it with 311-94, just shy of the Big Ten meet record, but a new cool record set here tonight.
Michigan, the relay winners. But how about this moment for Ohio
Overall, Ohio State won the Big Ten championship, but the Michigan Wolverines just won the relay race.
Peter Nelson really provided the spark again for Wisconsin.
This certainly did give her team an edge there, trying to give them the lead that they needed to be able to take home gold, but it just wasn't enough for the Wolverines, who were able to come back from that and solidify that win.
Michigan, the relay winner, but the title is headed back to Ohio State. We'll wrap things up from Iowa City when we come back after a thrilling Big Ten Women's Swimming and Diving Championship. 1,500 points for the first time in 34 years of the Big Ten champions, and Elise Menaker is down on the pool deck with Ohio State.
Okay, so like Michigan will finish second, Ohio State first.
Ohio State was Big Ten champs 1986, 34 years ago. Describe this feeling right now.
It's indescribable. I'm so proud of our team. I'm so proud of our coaches for the work they put into this. This has been a long time.
First Big Ten championship in 34 years.
Our kids had. It was just indescribable.
Performances that were really consistent these past few days. What kind of effort did it take from beginning to end to get this championship?
Well, this wasn't just one season. I mean, this was 3-4 years building up to this point, and it was a lot of belief, it was a lot of faith, and it was a heck of a lot of hard work.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you. Go Bucks.
Yeah, see their trophy?
For these athletes, bringing the trophy back to Ohio State for
2020 Big Ten champions. First Big Ten title since 1986. Ohio State Buckeyes.
And our Discover Going the Distance Awards features our championship awards. Maggie McNeil, the swimmer of the championship. Sims, the freshman of the year, and Emily Brecher, the diver of the championships. What a week it was at the University of Iowa. Northwestern stormed onto the scene. They finished fourth. Congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes, your 2020.
We'll take on Purdue. Following all of that, the big show. That's your BTN Live update. I'm Elise.
Okay, I guess I can delete delete. For more sporting events, TV shows, hit the big red button and subscribe. Peace out, YouTube.